Hi, I'm Dr. Gingrich. I will be your professor this semester for Biology 105. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself because when you see the videos that have been created for the course, those videos were created for all of the sections for Biology 105, not just by me. And so what you will find, though, is weekly you'll see in the announcements section that I will give you an overview of what's coming for that week, and I will explain to you some of the difficult concepts in that particular unit. If you ever feel like you need more explanation, all you have to do is reach out to me. I'm happy to provide either office hours where we can discuss or make videos to help you through some of that content. So anything that you feel like you need from me, please reach out. When you do reach out, please use the Canvas email rather than just the direct Unity email. That way everything stays in that one course and it makes it a lot easier for all of us to keep track of what's going on. So I'll tell you just a little bit about myself since this is our welcome week. I received my PhD from the University of Texas at Austin. And when I was there, I studied a variety of things, but primarily I studied community ecology and conservation biology, asking questions about what characteristics species have when those are species that are more prone to extinction, as opposed to species that are pretty resilient from extinction. My other big area of interest is in animal behavior. I love animal behavior. And I've taught animal behavior quite a bit, along with ecology and evolution and conservation biology. Those are some of my favorite areas. Just love talking about it. So any questions you might have on any of those areas, always feel free to reach out to me. As a scientist, we love questions. It's what it's all about. Don't ever hesitate if you feel like you want to ask a question, whether it's specifically related to the class or somewhat tangential. I'm happy to answer those questions. I hope we have a great semester together. Take a brief look at the course in Canvas, so you'll be able to get started right away with the content of the course and not struggle with learning how to navigate through the course. You'll want to make sure that you look over the syllabus, so you see a syllabus link here. So make sure you take a look at that. When you go to the back of the syllabus, there's a summary schedule there. Most of your content is going to be over here in the modules. So if we click on modules, you can see that we have a course introduction, and then it's set up by weeks. So you have weeks 1 through 5 set up over here. You will probably need to do the course introduction before these modules will open up. And I also want to show you, when you're tabbing through the course, probably the easiest way to do it. If we come here to week 1 and we click on the first thing in week 1, which is the introductions, you have an assignment there. So you want to make sure that you read through the instructions for each of the assignments. Often when people miss points on an assignment, it's because they haven't really followed all of the individual instructions. After you do an item that's on that list in the modules, the bottom here you'll see a next button. And of course, if you need to go back, there's a previous button. The way to most efficiently work through the course is to do one item and then click the next button. And this will be the next thing on that list that we saw before. You'll just click through the different pages. Your learning materials are going to be where most of your information for that week is concentrated. You'll typically have a lecture video, and then you'll have some links over here to different learning materials. What that next is really doing is it's taking you down this list. And it's going in order of the recommended order that you would complete these tasks. If you have to leave and come back to the course, then you can certainly find where you left off and start right from that area. You should see a check mark over here if it's something that you've already been to. Now that may not necessarily mean that you've completed the assignment, it just means that you actually did go to that assignment. Now some of your assignments will have discussions in them. So if we go to this first one here in week 1, you see a discussion assignment here. In many cases, what you'll find is that you need to post something, and then you also need to respond to other students. You have at least 2 different posts, and in some weeks you might have 3 posts where you post something, a student replies to you, and you reply back to them. So make sure you take a look at the assignment instructions carefully and also take a look at the rubrics. If you want to go back to a discussion, then you could click over here on discussions and you would see all of the discussions listed here. If you need to go back and post a reply and you don't want to have to tab through each of those next buttons, you can come and find that directly here. Everything else that you have is typically going to be reached by doing the next button. You can check your grades with the grades button here. There's a lot of other library resources. If you need help with something, you can request office hours. If you request office hours, I will schedule them here in this link here that says Big Blue Button. So if we click on Big Blue Button, right now it's not going to have anything, but if you request a conference with me, I will add one in here, and then you can go click on that and we can meet in this area. Please always feel free to ask for that help as needed. I find it easier for you to request a time from me than to set designated hours where a lot of you may not be available at those hours. I think I can serve you better if you just ask me for a meeting time if you need that help. If you need to email me, you can use this inbox here to send me an email. Please don't use the regular Unity email. Use the email here in Canvas. That's the preferred method of communication so that everything is now in this course and it's easy to come back to for both you and I. I also want to point out the late work policy at Unity. This is a college-wide policy. If work is submitted 1 day late, 10% is taken off the final grade for that assignment. 2 days late, 30% off, and 3 to 6 days late, 50% off. Now, if you have extenuating circumstances that we can document, please let me know, and we can get that late penalty removed under extenuating circumstances. Please also note that Unity has a policy of not resubmitting work. So if you do get a lower grade than what you anticipate on an assignment, there is not a way to go back and redo that assignment. And then please read through some of these other expectations. If you have a learning accommodation, please go to the Accessibility and ADA Services and they will provide you with that, and then I get a form electronically that tells me exactly what I'm allowed to do to accommodate your request. Each week you'll want to take a look at the announcements, and here we will have announcements. Each week I will put something in here that tries to give you an overview of what we're doing that week, both in terms of the assignments and then maybe some of the difficult concepts that are there. So all of that additional stuff will be here in announcements that you want to take a look at each time you come into the course. If you have any questions throughout the course, please don't hesitate to reach out and email me using the Canvas email.